allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if you have it, you can silence your phones, please. All right, Cindy, you are on up first.
I think Ray emailed this packet to you about the COVID-19. If you don't have it, I brought copies.
I have a copy, not that.
All you need. So I just wanted to pass this out, and I asked Ray to send it to you ahead of time, more of an awareness factor if the town of Rockville would be interested in doing this. Oprah has been trying to come up with a few different plans to help communities restart. A lot of this could be focused, I think, specifically for Rockville in the downtown area. The program is that you can apply for up to $250,000. That can be used as a revolving loan and/or grant program for your communities. This Phase 2 program specifically is to help retention of the low to moderate income jobs that are in your community. So I was just making up an example. We have the new bakery, Shannon, and I'm just using her as an example. This is no truth in this at all that I'm making up, but let's say that she fits in that low to moderate income category as a business owner. She would be an eligible candidate to receive funds in regards to this. But the way that they've set it up through Okra is the unit of government is the one that would be responsible for getting the fund and then providing the funds out to the business owners that are keeping those jobs.
So we be the administrators of
Right, now, you as a council, you could choose to say, no, Cindy, we're going to have you administer the funds.
We
Or
delegate.
Brandy, yes, you can, but you would be the applicant. It does encourage you to work with your chambers, your Main Street organizations, to come together with, what does your program look like? What does your application look like? What does your review process look like? And it's really intended, like I said, it could be used for working capital, it could be used for continuing operations, meeting the payroll to keep those low to moderate income positions. And the timing on this is not the greatest. There's not a lot of lead time. The proposals are due June 21st. The proposal, it doesn't have to be a fully fleshed out program, but you got to have an idea of what you want to do. My recommendation, if you would be interested in applying, there's no cost to apply. So if you think that it's something that you feel strongly about, encouraging your businesses to stay or being able to continue or to restart, to go ahead and apply. I would be more than willing to maybe coordinate with Heather at the chamber and get someone from Main Street. And if somebody here on this board wants to participate, just in a discussion about what would we want this program to be, and submit the proposal, and then applications are due, what was the date again? I'm sorry.
June 21st.
Yeah. No, that's the proposal.
Oh, did I see it was due in July?
Yeah, I think July.
6th or 7th?
Yes. You don't have a lot of time in between the proposal, but what happens is, just like regular open grants, when you send your proposal in, then they schedule what they site visit, which is now a virtual call. They'll give you technical assistance on your application, how to improve it, so on and so forth. Went through the scoring on this, so a lot of the scoring depends upon what they call their database factors. So what are your employment rates? Have they remained high? What is your low to moderate income? We already know what Rockville's at. They're at 60.57%. They look at education attainment. So actually, the population that does not have at least a associate's degree, that population lower, they do look at that, and points are provided for that because they understand that jobs aren't necessarily interested in doing the proposal,
And who do we want to?
if you would want me to, well, we could do that, but I mean, if you want me to, I can get the parties together and just talk about it, and we could, I know you don't have another meeting beforehand, but at least get it out to you what we're thinking on the proposal, if you're okay with that. And if you feel that there's a need.
It's out there, and who should apply? And who managed to administrate it, but you.
Well, the only reason I even recommended my office is because we do administer the revolving loan
Right. Well, you already
program
have-
for the redevelopment
Exactly.
commission. So we can kind of copy a lot of that process over. We don't have to
Right.
recreate the wheel, sort of thing. But anyway, just wanted to see if you guys were okay with applying, if that's something you want to do. And
I think so. I move.
All in favor?
And just quick, I did ask, Mecca and Montezuma are the other two towns that automatically apply with their low to moderate income percentages. I asked them if they would be interested because we could do a regional with 3 towns together. I haven't heard back from them, so it would probably just be you guys. All right, thanks.
Thank you. All right, Jessica Hawkins from Proactive MD.
I don't know where to stand, so I'm not in the way. Okay, so I'll make this very brief. I've given Brandy some information, so if anybody's interested and wants to get more information, my contact information is on the back of everything. So how many of you are familiar with the Montezuma Clinic that Park County has been utilizing for several years? It has now been opened up to other businesses. So it's open to the town of Rockville. Of course, Montezuma just came on. Vermilion County is also getting ready to come on. We did add a third day. It's only been 2 days for several years. So a third day has been added, and that is open to all businesses. So if you guys have any interest in joining or even getting more information, just let me know. How many of you are really familiar with like how it's working and what's offered, that type of thing? No? That's okay. That's okay. So what we do is on a direct primary care basis. So that is a monthly membership that is paid by the member, and there's no contract to do that. So that's a month-to-month thing. And with that membership for adults 18 and over, it's $65. And then for children 17 and under for the first child, it's $35, and then $10 for each additional child. And that covers all of your provider visits. Our after-hours line, there's never office copay or anything like that. It also covers a list of our medications, and there's just over 30 medications on that list, along with a list of labs, and there are 40 labs that are offered all under that membership at no additional cost to the patient. So the way it works, I know many people think, okay, I don't want to do this because then I have to give up a doctor that I really like that I've had for years. That's not what we're asking you to do. In this day and age, a lot of people are either on high deductible plans or they have no insurance at all. If you have, even maintenance medication that costs you a copay every time you have to go get those, that $65 a month, if it's covering those, and then say you're diabetic and have to get your A1Cs checked every so many months, that's free to you as well. So even if you have that outside physician that has written those prescriptions for you, or you go see them and they want you to have, say, an EKG done, or getting your A1Cs tested, something like that, they can write that order for you. You go to the clinic because you're a member and you get it done for free. So we work in conjunction with other doctors as well, or we can be your primary care physician. Okay. So as I said, it was 2 days a week. Now it's 3. We do know that as more people join, we will be adding more days too. So right now it's Monday and Wednesday 7 to 6, and then Friday 7 to 4. Any questions on what we talked about so far? Anything? No. Aaron, oh my gosh, help me, Brandy. Slater, yes, thank you. I knew it was Aaron. Problem is we have 37 clinics, and when you try to remember who's at every single one, I knew it was Aaron, it just didn't come to me. But yes, it's Aaron Slater, and she's wonderful. The staff is, our staff is exceptional, to say the least. I've heard patient story after patient story. I was in client relations, as what Brandy and I were talking about when I came in. I was the Park County client relations person for the first year, and then they decided I needed to go to the sales side. I don't really know what that was all about. So now I'm on that side of it. But it's very neat. The concept itself is not just what we're used to hearing of on-site and near-site facilities. Because what they do is not just your acute and urgent care stuff, but they also do chronic disease management, health coaching is available, dietitians. They do your preventative wellness. There's a lot to what we can do. Okay. Well, if any of you need anything or have questions, as I said, I'm not a pushy salesperson, so I'm just happy to answer questions. I worked for about 10 years in medical billing, so I know what a struggle it can be for people. And I also don't throw anything at me until I finish the statement. I worked in insurance for 6 years, but I didn't sell insurance. I worked in client relations. So my job was to write appeal letters for people, fight claims for them, help them get medications that insurance didn't want to pay for, that kind of stuff. Okay? All right. So you guys have a good evening.
Thank you.
And if you need anything, let me know.
Thank you, and I'll distribute those so they all have the information. Okay, thanks, Jessica, good to see you.
Thank you guys.
Okay, I think we're on to the hot topic this evening, the food vendor ordinance. Mr. Smith, you're up. You didn't bring us any covered dollars.
No, I are the reason we are here, apparently. I want to give you a little bit of background. I worked in the fast food business for over 10 years, so I was exposed to restaurants and food stuff. We've had a cooking business and butter business since 2007 that we do on the square. There again, I'm the end of food stuff. We built our own certified kitchen that is inspected, and that's where we prepare our foods. When I retired the 1st of March, I wanted to bring something new to the town, and food trucks seem to be a popular thing elsewhere. My thoughts were, at the time, there's not many places on the square for a person to eat, and another option could be had. COVID hit us. My plans got put on delay. Courthouse got closed, restaurants closed, some had carry-out only. I checked with the appropriate authorities. I checked with our food department, our health department. I checked with our police department locally. I checked with our sheriff's department. I had no ordinances I had to do. So I was pretty much on my own. So we tried to abide by rules that we thought everybody would go by. With nothing up here on the square, if you've seen pictures of the first couple of times we were up here, the entire block was empty. I knew from that point that eventually they would come back and we would have to move off the street. And I'm fine with that. I'm truly fine with that. We've made arrangements and talked to other places, and we do, like tomorrow we're at Ace Hardware, they want us out there once a week. But we'd still like to be downtown. I went to the county commissioners, and right out of their mouth was, no, if we let you do it, we'd have to let anybody do it. To use the courthouse lawn and set up my 3.5 foot by 6.5 foot cart and a couple of tables. Immediately it was no. No thought about it, no foresight about our town could use that. People would want it, people could utilize it. We put a lot of time into the products we sell. We make our own coleslaw, we make our own chilies. We do that in our kitchen. Those are our recipes. They're mostly family-oriented recipes, so they're kind of unique, and our flavors are our flavors. We've not gone on the internet and pulled something off. The green chili came from Colorado when I worked out there. A friend of mine shared their recipe with me, and that's what I brought here. It's something different. Not very many people in Indiana know what green chili is, but a lot of people like it now since we're here. I did make the statement in talking to a couple people that, well, if they want to regulate it, they should put a high price, and that was a mistake. and I shouldn't have done that because it affects more than just me. This ordinance is not about covered dogs. This ordinance is about other things that have happened in town recently. The Kona Ice people, their venues are canceled, as a lot of other places. So they were looking for some place to go. Well, I thought it was a cool idea. They just drive up and down the streets. But now this ordinance is going to affect them. So that high price is my fault.
If you let me interrupt you, we've kind of already, I think that's going to change.
It's a starting point, Gary.
Okay.
We didn't want to create norms, but
Well,
We need something, because if we don't have it, we have no control whatsoever.
and that's why I'm here, because I feel a little bit picked on, because now all of a sudden we gotta have an ordinance, because Gary started selling hot dogs.
Well, it's not so much about you, it's about what comes next.
Well, but there was no forethought until I did it.
Yeah. Well, you made us start thinking here, so it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
I know I know that there's court rulings that keeping me 150 feet away from the restaurant have been classified as unconstitutional, but not in our district. I did find that out. So, I mean, apparently there's laws around. I feel 150 feet is too far.
Well, I think we just went out and we did some research to see what are other people doing, because we've never had an ordinance like this, and we're being educated
Well, I
on
know
what
like
to do.
Indianapolis is, you can park in a parking space, you have to be 50 feet from the front door. And the parking space, as long as it's not a special place, like a loading zone, handicap zone, stuff like that, which I wouldn't do. And like I said, we only did it out here on the street because it was empty.
Right.
And the first 2 days was tremendous. The first day was shocking.
And you weren't shutting down the entire street.
No, I just,
Like gets done several times a year.
and we, because it was empty, we kind of spread out, but now we're down to like 2 parking spaces in our vehicle. But we keep our vehicle close because we don't want to jerk everything out of it, all the chips and everything. But I ran out of stuff that first time, I don't aim to run out of stuff again. I
Well,
don't run stuff
what have you seen as far as fees that seem to be?
I think
Sounds
that's-
like you've
that's the
researched
next
it.
speaker.
Yeah, they've done, the chamber's done more research on
Okay.
that, and I'll let them talk to that, but there are a lot more stuff around.
Okay.
And I think we should welcome the vendors to come in. I think, provide a place for them to go. Give us an option. There's been a study that people now don't really want restaurants. They want to go to a food truck so the kids can have a hot dog and mom and dad can have tacos. I mean, there's pulled pork out there. There's all kinds of stuff like that. I don't want us to limit ourselves, I just want, we understand you have to have rules, but we do feel a little picked on.
And a lot of people with food trucks, they've lost their livelihood during all
Yeah.
of this. Where they normally go to events starting in February or March, and that's what they do for the year. Everything's been canceled, so they're kind of behind
Fairs
it.
and everything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, a reliable source told me that a couple weeks ago, 3 food trucks showed up in Rosedale, and a bunch of people showed up.
Yeah.
Word got out, and everybody went. And that's just fun. I mean,
I think there's a taco truck or something.
yeah, well, they have a taco truck in Rosedale, but my understanding was he's related to a pulled pork truck, and then maybe the Kona Ice Guy was there.
No, it was actually kettle corn.
Kettle
and
corn.
Fried pie.
Kettle corn is huge
Nice.
right now. I do belong to a vendor organization that I found getting this hot dog cart,
Funnel cakes.
and kettle corn is good. So that's all, I mean, I just want to be fair about this. I apologize for me throwing that $300-400 number out there. I had no clue that it would hurt everybody else. And some of us may be able to afford that, but if I have to do that, my hot dog's price I have to go up. We try to price our dogs so anybody here in town could get a hot dog. We have done fundraisers. We went out to the sheriff's department and provided free meals to all of our first responders. We went to the Ritz, and we were part of their fundraising thing they had a couple of weeks ago, and we provided our profits to the Ritz for what we did. And we've done stuff like that. So that's about all the notes I have, and I tend to ramble, so.
Thank you.
Just wanted to be fair.
Okay.
And I have a note from Roger Smith as well, asking us to do some research on other towns and talking
Take
about.
people here about.
Yeah, I was just gonna, Mr. Smith, I figured I might as well add the letter from Roger as well. So I'll ask that be entered into the minutes. I'll give a copy to him. He's just suggesting we think that cost and agreed that he felt like they were maybe being singled out. I can pass this around to the rest of the board. We can look at it. Okay, chamber. You have a
I'm
spokesman?
Heather from the chamber. I'm gonna sit if you don't mind. I'm much more comfortable that way. I'm just here just to basically, I've got Kirby Kirkpatrick here on the board, and Tiffany Martin, she's our president. The businesses are obviously our passion. We want to make sure that there's unity with all of the businesses, and that they're prospering. So obviously it's a difficult time for so many. So when the ordinance, talk of the ordinance was brought up to us, it was a concern because we wanted to make sure that we got to hear from, especially the businesses around the square, plus covered dogs. So we actually sent out to all of our members and asked them to respond if they had any concerns, anything they thought sounded great as far as just some ideas of what kind of regulations there should be. And by doing that, we did get some feedback, and we decided to, as a board, to just kind of put something together that maybe we thought, based on looking at what our members said, plus doing research from other counties, we kind of wanted to give you our thoughts on a suggestion of maybe an ordinance or basis to go by. We looked at Crawfordsville and Greencastle and Danville, Indianapolis, Terre Haute, and used all of those areas to base kind of what we thought would be fair. And so we just hope you'll take a minute and listen to what we feel might be fair for an ordinance, and go from there.
All right, I'm Tiffany Martin, as Heather said, and I'm the president of the chamber. And so we kind of put this proposal together, and I've got copies here. I want to say, so I'm born and I've been raised in Park County. This is my home. I went away to college. I went away to law school like Nick did here, and I came back. Not a lot of us came back from our class, did they, Nick?
No.
No, they didn't. So I can say pretty confidently, my husband's from here, Park County. Jeff and Randy know him very well. Hopefully Randy doesn't know nowadays, but so we're both from here. And I say that because we're very passionate about our county. I got involved in the chamber. When I came back, I wanted to give back in some way. I work for Valley Professionals Community Health Center, which serves our population for medical insurance, medical care, and behavioral health care. So, but I know Mrs. Smith she taught me, well, she taught my sister and brother, and then she taught my kids. And it's not just about covered dogs. I think they were the ones that kind of got talked about a lot in this, but I don't think it's just about them. I know there's food trucks that come, Kona Ice, Britton Winery has food trucks, other places have food trucks, Rosedale, a lot of places have food trucks. And that's good, because it brings business into Park County, and I think that's what we want. We want people to come back here and have jobs back here. Me coming back, there isn't a lot of jobs. My husband, he works for Farm Bureau Insurance. Before that, he was working an hour and 15 minutes away at Steel Dynamics in a steel mill, an hour and 15 minutes away. So that was an hour, and it was 12-hour shifts, but we couldn't get a job around here. So we need jobs, we need business. And I think if we have ordinances that prevent businesses, then we're just pretty much saying, well, don't come back. We're telling people not to come here. When we're telling businesses not to come here. So this is our proposal. We do have, Heather and Kirby did most of the research. I'm just speaking at this point. They did the research, so I have to give them all the credit on that. But they found from a lot of other places, and they did kind of comparisons to Greencastle, Crawfordsville, kind of other communities that are kind of similar to us. And, nothing was at the $400 rate, I can tell you that. So we're just asking if they're from Park County, Our proposal would be $50. If they're out of county residents, and they wanna come in, $150. Consistent all 12 months. No restrictions on proximity. I mean, there's not any brick and mortar, there's no restrictions there. You know, if I wanted to buy the empty, what was used to be the empty antique store, I could have put a restaurant in there. I would have had to put a lot of money in it, but I could have. There's no restrictions on that. So why should there be any restrictions on somebody that's maybe in a food truck? We want it to be fair. We want it to be consistent. We want to bring business in. I think everyone wants to see Park County, Rockville prosper. I think we have to be open to businesses. No restrictions for public parking and public parking spots. You know, we don't provide any other restrictions on parking besides obviously the normal ones. We do support a public nuisance. If the location of a temporary food vendor business causes a disruption to traffic, an increase in trash, a danger to regular business functions, or block access, obviously, you know, they maybe should be fined, or maybe their permit revoked. I mean, we can have some rules and we can have some regulations, and I think that's fine. And we don't want anyone causing a public nuisance, and then, a permit should be required on private property for any temporary business that generates more than $500 in sales in a single day, or is set up for more than 2 consecutive days or 6 days within a 30-day period. So, with the exception of charity fundraising, garage sales, children's lemonade stands. I mean, every kid likes to do a lemonade stand at some point in time. So,
And let me just interrupt quickly as far as permits. Obviously, they all need to get a local food permit from the health department so that they've been inspected. And they'll be paying a fee for that. It's pretty nominal.
that's basically our proposal.
And a thought I've had that would get them off the square, I've considered trying to organize maybe a couple or maybe once a month, a food truck Friday down at the park. They'd be able to socially distance, and they're not up here. Some-
What's the problem in having them on the square?
Well, I don't think individually, parking is just a problem.
During normal business hours.
Yeah, if they're taking us.
We're trying to address that other
Yeah.
ways, but it's an issue already, parking on the square, I guess, what some current brick and mortar building owners would say. It's been a problem. It's gotten more congested, especially the apartments have opened up and various other things.
Because I mean, I understand, you know, if you have a business on the square and they're complaining about parking and people not being able to get close to their business, they took that upon themselves when they decided to put the business there. You know, I mean, there's not really a
I'm
place to
thinking
put up
more-
a parking facility here so you can get people to the square.
I'm thinking more on the inside of the square where you've got a lot of employees coming in and out. It's
I
hard.
mean, when you come into town on any given Monday through Friday, and you look at the square, the majority of those people parked around the square, either working the courthouse, or they're working
Or living in
around one of the
apartments.
places, or they're living in an apartment.
And
So I mean, you're looking at parking issues is because of all the people that are there. You know, the people that you want to bring in to shop and eat and stuff like that, you know, you need to be looking at parking issues. You know, areas that you can maybe pick up some land to build parking spaces.
We've been looking for a few years. Still looking, but getting closer.
If I may, I think I have a different perspective on this. Most of you don't know who I am because I just showed up here a little while ago. My name's Kirby Kirkpatrick. My wife and I relocated to Rockville, Park County 5 years ago from West Side Vineyards, or East Side Vineyards County. And what drew us here was the uniqueness of the community and the vibrancy and the friendliness of the people. We have loved living in Rockville and being part of it. I have never come down in the middle of the day and had a problem getting a parking spot to go to Shannon's or on a stand-up, like see people's faces. place. We get pizza once a week from there. We've never had a problem parking when we do it. When I come down and pay my water bill, I have no problem getting a parking space. I've never run into that. But more importantly, from a former outsider coming into a town like this, when I come in and I see activity around that beautiful courthouse, it tells me I want to stay. And things like food trucks and things like covered dog cart, things like signs on the sidewalk that say, hey, we're open, tell somebody coming down 36 to pull in for lunch, or walk around, or go to an antique mall. It's what allows us as a community to be competitive against Brown County. The biggest thing that we don't have here is the people in Indianapolis don't realize they can come out here and have a better experience than they can have down in Nashville. Everybody from where I came from went to Nashville and Brown County to get their antiques and to go to hike in the state park. And I'll tell you, we got a much better here. But they don't know that.
Sort of tell them all your friends.
I am. But they all say, why don't you move all the way out there? And I'll say, come out here and join me. I'll tell you, I'll take you to the saloon and we'll have some hot stop chips. But the whole point is, what it tells people coming down 36 is that this town's alive, and the square is the center point. We have one of the most beautiful courthouses. I'm a history teacher in a past life. We have one of the most beautiful courthouses in the state, and when you put business, whether it's somebody selling antique, handcrafted furniture out of a parking spot, if that's what it comes down to, it tells people coming down there, I need to stop. I need to check things out. When you put it over to the park, it takes away from that. Now, I think Food Truck Fridays at the park is a great idea because I think we need to use that beautiful building we have down there. But using that in place of saying,
And I wasn't necessarily,
I think it's a great
I'm talking
idea.
about, multiples.
Yeah. And the market will eventually flush itself out. There will either be too many food trucks on the square and nobody will stop because there's no place to park or get out. But there's huge parking lot behind the saloon. There's parking all along the side streets.
Well, that's private park. I mean, be careful.
But, I mean,
But they
even on
park
the
there,
street.
even though this ordinance was just started.
Right, I get it. I'm just telling you my opinion as to what I would
We
like to see.
had nothing to start with, and that's where we're at. And you guys being here is good. So now we can kind of refine this thing to get
Is
something.
there a copy of the ordinance in this room?
Yeah.
Could somebody read it? You're talking about the ordinance, the ordinance, the ordinance. What's it say? I mean, maybe
What's
we won't like it, maybe we
It's
won't love
just
it.
a proposal.
It's proposed ordinance, we
Well,
just,
matters not, but what is it that you're basing
So
the
it's
conversation
been
on?
drafted, obviously it's a moving, living thing currently. Whereas the town of Rockville, Park County, Indiana wishes to regulate self-contained mobile food and beverage services who are licensed to do business in the state of Indiana and holding all requisite health department business and resale licensure to sell food and beverages in Indiana. These are termed mobile concessions. And now therefore be ordained by the town council of the town of Rockville, Indiana, meeting in regular session as follows. For the purpose of this chapter, the following definition shall apply unless the context clearly indicates or requires a different meaning. Mobile concessions are self-contained mobile food and beverage services licensed to do business in the state of Indiana and holding all requisite health department business and resale licensures to sell food and beverages in Indiana. This term shall not include food delivery services that deliver food or beverages ordered by a purchaser to a specific address provided by the purchaser. Section 2, permit required. The town of Rockville, Indiana hereby adopts and requires the owners or operators of any mobile concession business shall obtain all state, county, and town required licensures or permits before selling food or beverages in the town of Rockville, Indiana. The town hereby adopts the following fee schedule for town mobile concessions permits. Storefront properties in town of Rockville will have no charge for the permit. No storefront and included in an event, i.e. the Bridge Festival, no charge. No storefront and not included in an event, that's where it had the $400 per year. Obviously, that's something the council is still considering. Permits may be obtained at Town Hall, 103 West High Street, Rockville, Indiana, 569-6253. Permit display. Owners or operators of a mobile concession business shall at all times display the permit obtained from the county health department and the town of Rockville while operating within the town. Mobile concession operations. Mobile concession businesses shall hereby abide by the following. Not interfere with or obstruct or allow customers to interfere with or obstruct the free passage of pedestrians or vehicles along any street, sidewalk, road, or parking lot, drive aisle. And not park within 20 feet of any intersection, and not park on town property within 150 feet of a brick and mortar restaurant. And mobile concession businesses shall seek advance permission from property owner to be located on private property or the town of Rockville if the mobile concession business is located on town property. The space available to mobile concession businesses at some town events may be limited to a first-come, first-served basis or require additional fees. And they'll only be in operation in town of Rockville from April 1st to September 1st of each calendar year. Only be operational in the town of Rockville from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Saturday. Sunday sales on town property are prohibited unless otherwise approved by the town council. They shall obtain a yearly town permit from town hall prior to operation within town limits. Section B, compliance with laws, regulations, and ordinances. Mobile concessions must comply with all local, state, and federal laws, regulations, and ordinances. Mobile concessions will be responsible for collecting the proper sales of food and beverage taxes and reporting to the proper state agencies. Fire protection requirements. Mobile concessions which provide services within the town of Rockville shall be equipped with proper fire extinguishing equipment. Such equipment shall be properly installed and maintained to the state of Indiana Fire Code and/or the appropriate NFPA standards. This shall include, but is not limited to, all fire extinguishers, grease-laden vapor systems, and compressed gas for cooking. Inspections. All mobile concessions providing services with the town of Rockville may be subject to inspection by the Rockville Fire Department and/or Rockville Police Department at any time the mobile concession is operating within the town to ensure compliance with sections E and A. The Rockville Fire Department or Rockville Police Department shall have the authority to enforce this section. Penalty. Any person, firm, or corporation who violates any section of this chapter shall be subject to a fine of up to $500. A separate offense shall be deemed committed upon each day during which a violation occurs or continues. Section 2. All provisions of the town's ordinance not in conflict with it or specifically changed by this ordinance shall remain in full force and effect. Section 3. This ordinance will be in full force and effect upon its passage and due publication in accordance with Indiana law. And that's the draft as it currently stands.
Is there, sorry, when I was reading that, I heard, so there's a time limits, like you can
Monday
only,
through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. is how it currently is drafted.
I would ask, you maybe consider that as well. 7 p.m. is pretty early on a summer day. I don't know how many times I can feed my kids by 7 p.m. after getting home from work. And
It's almost daylight still, 10 o'clock.
yeah, my kid, yeah, so I would,
I think the key is that we really object to different rules for brick and mortar versus the.
Well, in defense of brick and mortar, 'cause I am one. I mean, it's, I've heard from them. I don't know if any of them are members of the chamber. That's another topic. But looking at the ones in the square, there's a really large and really small vendors or brick and mortar companies, and really restaurants, call them what they are. If someone set up right up front of their door, I mean, what do you think their sales are going to be that day?
Well,
It all depends on whether you want a hot dog or ribs.
Well, yeah. It's tough to make a living doing anything in a small town, I guess I'm saying. And so when this originally was drafted, it was drafted thinking about, well, and I think that's where the 150-foot come. We don't want them sitting right out front. So we put them down a little ways. Maybe that's kind of.
And we did a call for that. I mean, blocking the front entrance of the
So,
business.
in their defense, I guess, I'm not on the square, so I don't have to worry about that part of it. But, they are concerned what it will do to them.
we did hear from them as well. Most of them are members, and we did hear from them. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, one expressed concern, a lot of concern, but the rest of them,
Well, how did they feel that we should craft this? I mean, what was their thoughts?
There should be no competition.
Oh, well, I don't know about that.
That's basically what they
Yeah,
got.
so essentially what it was
Just get the black paint and bury the town, for Pete's sake.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that if you're gonna try to have a business in a small community, you have to have a niche. 36 has picked that up with the outside eating area, the separate restaurant, the separate restaurant outside. They've got decent food, so they've got a niche. Some of these other smaller places, they don't have a niche yet.
And in many ways.
They need to find that one thing that gets somebody to go, I want to go back. I want to go back in a couple days. Not that, I went ate there, but it's been 3 months since I've been there because I forgot about them. Because there's no niche to it.
Or better yet, one day they come down and have pizza, the next day they come down and have a hot dog, the next day they come down and have saloon. You're bringing the same people back because nobody's going to eat the same thing every day, so they're not going to come back, then they don't come back at all. When I train a lot of people, I talk about the hotel oxymoron, I guess you'd call it. You never find a hotel at an interstate exit by itself. It's always there with 4 other hotels. And because there's 4 other hotels, more people stop at the exit and stay in the hotels, they all prosper. Walgreens always parks themselves right across from the CVS because everybody will come because there's more there. The competition is good
Oh, it is.
for everybody. Now, I agree with you. The ordinance should include that a truck can't pull in front of another existing business of any kind
I don't think
and
anybody
block their
would argue
signs.
that.
No, I mean, I'm fine with that.
I don't think you would actually do
I don't think
that.
that's smart,
Just
it's not smart.
just
for
your
you
own
personally.
feelings.
Exactly.
Just the way I
But-
was raised. though.
Well, that's, you know, that's the stuff that we started with here.
Yeah.
We're just trying to refine it, and your input's definitely.
Well, as a brick and mortar owner, I would love whatever you could put on the square that makes people come and walk around, because guess what? They'll see other people.
And I know there was a thought process to it being on this side. I think if we're talking about multiples, just from a personal standpoint, I think maybe this side is, if you drive by, it's almost always less.
It's freer.
Yes, so,
I would ask that they stay off the highway parking spots.
well,
I don't
But
wanna
that's
be on
kind of a
highway.
common sense thing,
Yeah.
I would think.
I just think this logistically works a little better.
And so that would become a zoning question and not an ordinance question.
Right.
You could
But-
zone those spaces for temporary businesses.
What was that?
I think this along the median is maybe better suited if you're talking about multiples. You know, because I know in Rosedale, the taco truck reached out to some of their people and asked them to come and in conjunction. So if that's something that happens, if you and Kona Ice were up here at the same time, I don't.
I guess I would disagree. I don't think that's a zoning issue. It would fall directly under a permit issue because it's zoned commercial already, and that's basically what we can do there is zone it commercial. So we'd still have to have some type of regulation or ordinance passed to limit where the parking would be at. This doesn't limit location besides just not blocking a street and currently not passed as to the distance from the brick and mortar.
You know, right now, we have one, and that may all be all we have.
Well, you have 2.
We have 2 on the
Kona
Kona.
Ice,
But
Yeah.
it could grow to the point where we'll be glad we got an ordinance, we may want to change it some more. But, you know, we've got Stark, and we've got some
do you
input.
feel it's fair to let the people on the sidewalks not have to buy a permit, but those of us that live here and use our money here have to buy
Well,
permits?
what are you referring to?
During the festival.
Yeah, that's a hot topic. Well,
It's already regulated by TML licensing, and this would just not regulate it whatsoever. It'd still be the
But then
TML
why
license.
should I be a local person and get taxed then? Because they don't.
What I would say is that this just regulates every other section in the year besides the
that's
festival.
10 days.
But the festival, they are required to pay whatever the TML is.
And clearly the 400 came
Yeah,
up,
right.
it's too much.
I'm
So,
sorry.
The whole
and,
side,
I think there should be a yearly for county residents or seasonal for county and out of county. And I personally think 25 or 50 for county folks and 50 or 100 for out of county gives them, mainly we need to know that they're here in addition to the health department, and the health department's relatively nominal, especially for somebody that's just coming for a day. I mean, it's $5 or $7 per day for these food trucks, so it's not like we're gouging them. So I don't think it should be a money-making thing for the town either, per
Not
se.
to speak straight out for us, but I don't think the chamber would object if, like, if the highway side of the square was prohibited and the hotel side of the square was prohibited, because that would be congesting. And so I don't think we would object to some common sense placement that's not necessarily in relation to the brick and mortar store, but more related to what would be safe.
I mean, if the spot's open in the morning, then if they get there, parking is first come, first serve, as it is. If 2 food trucks show up on this side and 2 on
Yeah.
the south side.
I think everybody could benefit.
And the chamber represents all of Park County, so for us, it's exciting to know that Rosedale has things going on when there's really not much else there.
Of course, they have no restaurants.
Yeah. So this isn't just about Park County for us, but we don't want to make sure that Rockville doesn't limit so that people don't feel big.
In a perfect world, every Saturday there'd be a different type of food truck there. So we could go down and try something new.
Can I ask you a question? You had talked about the time frame on time of day, and you mentioned the 7 PM. Any issue with the 11 AM portion of it?
Yeah, because my cart can be converted to sausage, gravy, and biscuits and eggs.
Really?
Easy. I can put anything on that cart that I can make and
So
move,
moved.
as long as I keep my temperature per house rate.
Yeah, take that delivery thing out of there too.
And Roger makes a great sausage gravy.
Well,
It has been talked
and that's why I was
about, but yeah.
wondering, because breakfast is, something people are interested in.
Yeah.
So
And
what
I
time?
would say also Wheelhouse Donuts has their mobile, so you
Right.
probably don't want to limit
So,
it.
from the chamber's perspective, what would you look at? I mean, obviously, you don't want people selling food at like 3 AM in the morning on the
No.
square.
And I think, like we did Brighton Winery, like I said, they have a truck up there, they stay there, I think it's 9.
I was gonna say no.
But I'm just saying, to give you a reference, people do still, if they're out and
Well,
about
that's
what-
enjoying the
Well,
town.
how-
Who doesn't want to talk at 2 AM?
And I don't
Maybe.
So
think we should-
I mean, you could look like 7 AM to 9 PM, for instance. I obviously don't have a dog in the fight, no pun intended.
Oh.
Or even,
I was gonna say that earlier.
or even 8 to 9.
Right. So
I do know that the 36, we have talked to them a little bit, but I need clarification with what they told me. But there are guys in other cities that have been near a bar, and people will come out and get a hot dog and go back in the bar.
That's what I said, who doesn't want to talk at 2 AM?
Yeah. You don't get the munchies after a
Again.
couple beers.
If it's over on the square
Well,
side,
I think-
it's not.
I think on private property, we shouldn't be regulating. I don't even think we can. I don't think. we
it just
should.
doesn't seek to regulate anything about private property.
Okay. No time frame on private property.
No.
Private property.
No regulation. Besides, they need to be zoned commercial. Obviously.
Yes.
So if we're good, we will make some changes to this ordinance and
Thank you for
tweak
having
it.
us.
Thank you, we really appreciate it.
Very much.
Maybe 7:30, and that way the courthouse crowd could.
Well, I know there are coffee trucks out there too, guys that just been
Yep.
When would you
basically plain
expect
coffee.
the breakfast cart? They're taking orders now.
Nicholas, when the breakfast cart's gonna start.
I think what time do town employees get here, like 7, you can park right down there.
Thank you very much for the time, Gene.
Thank
Appreciate it.
We'll get down with us, I guess.
You're welcome to stay, so.
I want to add one other thing. We did spur an entrepreneur.
Logan,
Yeah.
that is the lemonade on our cart is Logan's Lemonade. He just turned 14. And we're not selling much pop. The lemonade is going out of that stand like nobody's
It's only
business.
gonna get worse.
So that is so exciting. That is so exciting.
For a young man.
Right, yeah. And not just because he's our grandson, but thinking the other opportunities for kids. I mean, it's pretty awesome.
But we felt it was a cool idea, a neat thing for Rockville. We didn't have something simple to do, and it would be a fun thing. Kind of got convoluted a little bit, but we're still gonna serve. We'll be out tomorrow, and we'll be back down here on Thursday night.
I guess I just asked for some direction and
Take out the 400.
replace it with what?
So you're suggesting 50 and 150?
I think 150 is too much.
150 for out of town.
I think 50 and 100 would be good.
And what about distance from the
Rather than,
pretty sensible about that anyway. I mean,
I
most
think
of them
most
will
people
be.
would.
The locals definitely would be. It's the out-of-town folks who may not be
But 50
respectful.
foot's not bad. And I don't see.
Think 50 foot they'll get one?
I don't think that'll hurt the brick and mortar, and I don't think it'll.
and the
50 to 100 seem to be common in other areas.
Okay.
75,
But, I mean, 50 was a very common number, I guess is what I would
So
say.
we could put that in perspective between Aaron's and 36, where does that put you on the east side
I
of the
I
square?
haven't walked it, I don't know. I would assume it put you somewhere in the middle of that antique store next door,
Oh, yeah.
or the second antique store down, probably.
And if I've heard right, you also have permission to set up on Deb Olson's patio,
We do.
so which is private property, which you would take away the 50-foot regulation for Aaron's, correct?
Well, it would for them, but say a taco truck comes in and they
Right.
don't have that permission, but then they decide they want to park in front of Aaron's, it give Aaron's 50 feet of space for their parking, for their restaurant, so to speak. I mean, that's, Indianapolis, I think, was 50 foot. There were a couple other ones that were 50 feet, so that's a common number, but, I mean, you're not by no means obligated to do that. It's kind of up to the board.
and I know the pool's gonna be looking for some, Teddy hasn't reached out yet.
We've heard rumor. Yeah, in contact.
So 7:30 to 9 p.m., and that's a number that the chamber seemed to kind of throw out, but
Well,
it saved me time drafting if I know what you guys are looking for.
I'm just,
7:30.
I mean, that breakfast thing, a lot of people, when they go to work, they want to stop and get some
And if
breakfast.
you're working in Sarah, it'd be nice
Are
to.
you doing Saturdays?
Yeah, at the farmer's market.
All weather related.
Yeah, and it's all weather related.
If you're gonna set up near the bars, probably ought to get some sliders too.
What about the section about the brick and mortars and the people that have already signed up for like TML licensing? Do you want me to leave that in there? That there's no additional fee if you say you have a TML for the festival. And same with the brick and mortar, say 36 or Aaron's wants to put some kind of food truck, on public property. Do you want them to be charged a fee or not charged a fee?
I don't think we can.
During the festival, I don't.
Well, I thought we stopped it at the end of September.
We did, right.
But they don't want to.
I'm just making sure that's what you guys want as a board, that you want to stop.
I don't know who's gonna be out in the middle of winter around here.
Right.
So we'll look at you and ask you as the experts, will you be out in the middle of the winter?
No,
No.
no.
So were you good with that, like April through
We are.
September?
And, but it's not just about us.
Well, no, but we're,
Yeah. No, we have a lot to do for the festival.
exactly, that was kind of the thought process.
This whole deal was something to do through the summer.
And a lot of the locals are gonna be in the same, they're getting ready for
I
festivals.
plan to go to Colorado some this winter, and spend a couple of these nickels I might make. So. There's casinos out there that are really cool.
So we're okay leaving no charge for somebody that owns a storefront if they want a food truck? Or festival will leave okay, permits were fine. I'm sure everybody's probably fine on the fire protection requirements and the law compliance. So we'll change that to 50 feet, is that right?
Did you have in there that they were subject to health department inspections?
Everything in there requires them to, I'll add that to our section about the health department too, but I believe that's state law anyway, right? Do what you want there. All right, I think that gives me enough to, and so then at the next town meeting, I'll have the ordinance for consideration, since we've got a public meeting on it.
All right, thank you. Mr. Brock?
Good to see everybody again. Can't tell everybody how much fun it is for me to be at a public meeting and not be the hot topic of the evening.
Not yet.
Always the hot topic.
Not yet.
Always the attorney catching me and everything. I said, I'm passing on the business card to start with you. And that is because I'm going to go into some financial information, and tomorrow, the next day, down the road, you may think, why would you ask me that question, Steve? And the with my business card. You can text me, you can email me, you can give me a call on my cell phone. I answer on Saturdays even, in the evenings, not a problem at all. I'm on the agenda today as a budget item, and that's just about exactly. There's somebody sitting here.
Randy.
I'm over here.
I know where you are, Brent.
Okay.
I've got a report for you. And what you hired me for is to do a rate study. And actually do a rate study for water, for wastewater, and for stormwater. Yeah, this clears the room, always does.
Sorry.
No, I understand, I really do. So here's preliminary results, preliminary for you to discuss, and I'm showing a need for a rate increase on wastewater, which I don't think you're surprised about, and water, which I don't think you're surprised about. The question's always how much. So really what you're doing here is setting your budget and setting your budget for next year and ongoing years, because whenever you set a budget and a new budget, you need to look at your revenues, because it's easy to set an expense budget, but if you don't have revenues to meet that budget, you're never going to be able to meet that budget. So, I always tell people I can be quick or I can be slow. As you know me, I can talk forever, and most people don't want me to talk forever. Sometimes give you a quick flow through of all these, and this generally works best if I kind of give you the essentials. You got the report here. Come back at a future meeting and discuss details and any questions you have. So I'm not really expecting to make any decisions tonight. This is kind of your preliminary introduction to what the needs are for the utility. So there's a little bit of reading in front, and that's kind of good. Maybe go through later on. I'm not going to spend much time on that. And then the rest of it is a zone of numbers. And that's what we're going to talk about. Your utilities are regulated by Indiana laws, and we'll tell you. And water's Title 8 Indiana Code, wastewater's Title 36. Stormwater you can do either under Title 8 or Title 36, and I think you did Title 8, is that right, Nick? Organizing Title 8, one or the other, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference.
I
But
think it's 8, yeah.
they have statutory revenue requirements, and those are basically, you're setting a budget for annual operation, maintenance expenses. You're setting a budget for what's called working capital. You're setting a budget for debt service, principal and interest on your outstanding debt obligations. Those outstanding debt obligations have another obligation called debt service reserve requirement, which is to blow up 1 year's maximum debt service and hold that. Then there's a thing called expenses and replacements, and I use that for short-term asset replacement, which I think is very important. I'll talk to you a little about that. And that is, a lot of people build their rate studies on budgets don't include asset replacement, which means that whenever something breaks or fails, you don't have money in your rates to be able to replace that. So I have in here a schedule of rates that will reflect a certain amount of money for each year that will pay for the replacement of assets with a useful life of that's the wastewater. Useful life of 15 to 20 years, and talk to your superintendents, and talk to Troy, and put together, and talk to Jeff, and gone through that. And so we collect that money, and I recommend that your clerk treasurer then, once you pass these rates and charges, look at that amount in there, 1/12 of that, and monthly transfer to the depreciation fund. Then what we have is we've got a clerk treasurer fund, which is your operating fund, and we've got what I call your superintendent's fund, which is your depreciation fund. And then you've got what I call your bond fund, which is blowing your money up for your bond and interest. That works out really well because it means that your superintendent, or your contract superintendent, doesn't have to come to the clerk treasurer when he needs to replace something and say, do we have any money to do this with? And the answer is always no, if it's not going on the rate report. And so, and she doesn't have the money she has to have to pay for materials and supplies, and salaries and wages and insurance. So we need to go to the budget. We've done that here. And so then it means that your superintendent just needs to come and say, okay, I need to replace item X. It's going to cost $25,000. We have a budget, it's in the budget, and we have in the depreciation fund $90,000. So the money's there, you just approve it, and then it gets done. And it doesn't affect the clerk's budget, and then it enables your superintendent to be able to plan for his expenditures 3, 4, 5, 10 years in the future, because he knows how much money he's going to get every year. He knows what the items are that are itemized to do that. Now, I'm talking about short-term asset replacement. There's also long-term asset replacement. I can't build long-term asset replacement year rates and charges, because usually what that takes is a bond issue, because those are big things. And usually when we do those things, we also want to look for grant, free money, money we don't have to pay back. So when you get the big budget items, we want to be able to go in and get low-interest loan money, which you pretty much did in your last loan in wastewater. And look at grant money also. Now, in this, we're also going to look at your, I'm going to talk about 2 loan programs that are out there that are subsidized interest rate loan programs. The next time you decide you want to start looking at something to do on the water and wastewater. And those are rural development, which previous administrations here have not been very fond of, although we have rural development. And Indiana State Water Loan Fund. Rural development has interest rates as low as 1.875%. They have loan terms as long as 40 years. That's a fixed interest rate. And they have grant money for post-project user fees, residential user fees that exceed $60. So you're just about there. And State Water Loan Fund has up to 35-year loan terms, 2% interest rates. And they have grant money to buy projects down for post-project user fees at around $65. And so again, you're right about there. If you have another big project, you probably would be there. And they call that their affordability index. That's when they feel that your rates are high enough that they need to help you by providing money to buy your rates down to what they call affordable. So again, you're pretty much there on both levels. And next time you look at a project, it'd be good at talking to those agencies. And again, you get an offer from them prior to committing to them, so you can kind of shop around and see where you're going to get your best deal from, and see how much free money you get. Again, that doesn't talk about the OPRA program. OPRA program is separate from those 2 programs, and OPRA provides up to $700,000 of free money. You've got this Cindy Thomas here, and she'll tell you more about that program with over $1 million. Is that right? You get $700,000, $100 million, you get $600,000. Is that right?
For wastewater.
For wastewater, water.
Yeah, water is a little different.
Okay. She's the expert on that. So that's kind of the broad brush. We're talking about budgets here. I'm going to shoot you right to the budget schedule on this. I'll talk about that a little bit. And that is on the schedules, page 26. So on this, I've got what's called break-even rates, 3-year rates, 5-year rates, and bold. It's always recommended to do 5-year rates. And 7-year rates. Sometimes people want to go longer than the rates. Every time you go longer on a year for the longevity of the rates, it means that your rate increase has to go up, because we're projecting forward for more expenses, and then as you go forward, there's inflation that happens, and we have to have rates that are higher for the last that long. So I generally don't recommend rates that are less than 3 years or last less than 3 years, because you're in too often doing rate studies.
You're on page 30, right?
I'm on page 26.
Oh, sorry about that.
Nope, my fault. Looks like this. Okay. So if we look at that, the break-even rates are about a 10.8% increase. The 3% rates, 3-year rates are about a 15% increase. The 5-year rates are about an 18% increase, and the 7-year rates are a 21% increase. Now that funds $666,000, $100,000 of operation and maintenance. It funds $14,000 working capital, $190,000 of extensive replacements. I'm going to show you the schedule on that in a minute. Debt service on your existing debt. Now you've got 3 debt issues outstanding. 1 debt issue goes away this year, included in here. And we're budgeting for the future. I don't need to have you collecting money for a debt service schedule that you don't need to pay money on. So we've got the 2020 bonds on here. And we have what I call return on plant, which is a factor for inflation. So you see in the break-even rates, we've got nothing in there, which means that next year we have to have another rate increase, because we haven't budgeted anything in for inflation. That's not a good way.
So Steve, return on plan, is that depreciation?
That would
I
be
mean, that-
inflation. Inflation.
Inflation, but we would, I mean, that's not money we're spending, but that would be money we could put into, what you call it, the superintendent account or the treasurer.
That would be the short-term asset replacement, that would be, right there, an extensive replacement, it's $190,000.
That would be depreciation
That
there.
would be depreciation.
And so the return on plan,
Is inflation, or to give us money to allow
well,
rates to last
we could
longer.
use that for current repairs.
Absolutely. When you aren't using that, you don't have the inflation we projected, that can go into Brandy's budget, go into your superintendent's budget, it can go into this special project.
Well, it could go into rate increase. Well, actually, it's planned though, but,
Yeah.
okay.
So as you talk about that, I want to switch you to page 28. As we talk about that proposed equipment replacement schedule, short-term asset replacement schedule, depreciation schedule, and here's how I calculate that. And you can see the bottom right-hand corner number is $190,333, and that divided by 12, you get $15,861, which is what I recommend if you pass those rates to have Brandy transfer into the depreciation fund from operating every year. So the depreciation fund funds itself, and these expense items are itemized, set aside for use for only short-term asset replacement and not returning. That's the whole purpose of fund accounting. We call it fund accounting shoebox accounting. People say, that's silly, Steve, but it really makes sense. Back in the Depression, I always talk about, I wasn't around in the Depression, it may look like it was. But people kept shoeboxes under the bed, and the shoeboxes had names on them, shoes for your kids, rent, groceries. That's what fund accounting is. You've got a specified purpose for a fund, and it's the operating fund, it's the clerk's fund, it's the depreciation fund, it's the superintendent's fund, and it is the debt service fund, which pays the debt on your loans. So here we're making a finding for replacing your backhoe. We've got a finding for sludge removal, 2 service trucks, dump truck, jet truck, pumps, large, small sludge pumps, blowers, blower motors, gearbox refurbishment, meter replacement, computer, screen towers, lawn tractor, testing equipment, tool replacement. And we come up with the estimated cost of replacing that item, then the number of units we have. So if we want to replace all those items, it'd be $1,208,000. So obviously, you need to build that amount into rates, so you have money come in every month to be able to pay that as those things break down and need to be replaced. And so annually, that comes out to $190,000 a year, or $15,861 a month. And that is built in, we go back to page 26, for every one of the 4 rates I'm showing you. The break-even rates, the 3-year rates, the 5-year rates, the 7-year rates. Okay, so those are your budgets. You can pick any one of those. And then everybody says, well, what's it going to cost me? So you always wants to know. So we look on page 30, and that's what Jen was talking about earlier. And that is, I broke down those budgets into what I call a typical residential building schedule. And I'm showing at each 1,000-gallon increment what a residential customer would pay for a sewage service. So I always look at 4,000, that's in bold, and the reason is because that's the number that the state water loan fund looks at before they give you grant money. That's the number rural development looks at before they give you grant money. That's the number that item Indiana Department of Rural Management says is your typical usage for a residential customer. Now, I'll tell you right now, people in Rockville use less than that. That's the number that I always tell people is the average residential usage. And the reason I say people in Rockville use less than that is because I found that more medium-sized and small towns use less than 4,000. Large cities use more. And my perfect example is Carmel and Greenwood. And Carmel and Greenwood use about 10,000 gallons a month for water. What a beautiful.
They have installed sprinklers in their yards.
Yeah.
So revenue projections, though, kind of makes it tough to figure out, okay, so we do this, we increase. Yeah, it'd be tough. I'm just thinking, okay, how are we going to calculate what's our projected revenue to go with this specific rate increase? We can't use the 4,000.
Well, what your revenue you're going to get is going to be what the total amount of revenue requirements is on page 26. So you look at...
Well, it depends on the rate we adopt, though.
Yeah, it is. You've got, for break-even rate, it's $1,258,000. For 3-year rates, it's $1,309,000. For 5-year rates, your revenue collection.
But that's based on a 4,000 average usage.
Well, it's based on total revenues. You know, and that's a great question, and you're gonna give me the opportunity to explain to you how this all works. Get into the details here. So, how do we set up a rate increase? First, we look at what's called a test year. And this test year is your operating data for 2019. This is the most recent work data that we have. So then I do what's called fixed, known, and measurable adjustments to that test year to make it equal what your expenditures are going to be 2020, 2021. Okay, so that's the expense side, because when you know what the expense side is going to be for your revenue, revenues are, because your revenues have to equal your expenses on account. And that's what they tell you. Revenues have to equal expenses, or you're in trouble. You're in lots of trouble. Okay, so then we calculate the percentage, and that is the percentage that increase. So we first calculate the money, and then we have to calculate the rates. So I'm making an assumption here. I'm assuming that the current rates produce your current revenues, and that if we increase your rates, what we call an across-the-board basis, everybody gets a 10% increase in rates and charges.
Based on past
experience.
Okay, so it's based on actual data.
It is, and it assumes that people are going to use the same usage they did last year. Yeah, they use pretty much that. I like to use the example of water, because water is easy to understand. People, there's always a rate increase, it's a large rate increase. People say, I'm going to cut back on my water. And they do, for about a month. And then it's too difficult to yell at your kids every time they're in the shower. It's too difficult to tell people to turn the faucet off when you're brushing your teeth. The other thing people don't realize, I just love this, is water is so cheap in Indiana. You can get 100 gallons of water for less than $1. 100 gallons of water delivered to your door, certified by the state that it's potable and drinkable, and anytime you want to turn on the faucet, 100 gallons for less than $1. And people always buy bottles of water, and they cost you $1.50 or $2, and it's not 100 gallons in that bottle of water. It's amazing. People use a lot of water, so it's hard to conserve. The other thing I do, and what I'll have for Brandy, is when we raise rates and charges, is that I'll have a handout, and I'll give different copies here, and she can hand them out to customers that say that this is an onerous increase for them, that they have difficulty making payments on this. So this is simple ways that people can, if they want to, conserve water. It's about 4 pages, and then you tell them the bonus is that if you conserve water, not only does your water bill go down, but since your wastewater bill is based on your water consumption, the wastewater bill goes down too. So that doesn't really help very much because people don't like to save water, but at least it appeases them at the moment. If they're really serious about it, it gives them a method of accomplishing what they need to do. That answer your question?
Yeah.
On the rates and how
Yeah.
to calculate it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're going to go back to page 30 quickly. And I just want to show you that at 4,000 gallons, which is the average, which is more than the average is going to be here, your current rates are $60.06. And the 5-year rates are going to go up to $71.11. The break-even rates will be 66, which means right now, to make it through this year, you need $6 more from each customer every month to be able to make your budget work. All the items in the budget we're talking about.
Well, it's our Okra. That's pretty much our increase in 10-year loan. That's really what that is.
Yeah. You had your 2020 bond issue. You didn't raise your rates. The annual debt service that is $102,792, and your break-even rates you need to increase them by $123,000. So you really needed to do that rate increase last year. Again, I always tell people you need to look at rates and charges every 3 to 5 years because everything goes up. And if you keep your rate increases every 3 to 5 years, it keeps the magnitude of that rate increase lower. You read about in the paper occasionally people having 80, 90, 100% rate increases. And then you read the fine print that says they haven't had a rate increase for 15 years. And that's the reason.
That's not good.
Yeah, it's not good.
Well, yeah, I don't know what a good time to ask. We've been trying to operate here for several years now under the theory we want to get out of debt. And that's one reason we did the 10-year, the Okra money.
Yep.
There's other bonds, 2 bonds that we have to pay off, we got 10 years left. Does that make sense from you? I mean, you do this every day, all day,
And I do, and that's a great question. I'm glad you asked it. My answer is that there are better goals than getting out of debt.
There is?
So, and think about this. The average person stays in a house, I think, 7 years. Okay, 7 years. So if you have to pay for everything up front before you build it, then those people's rates have to be higher than people that come into town and buy their house after they leave, get the benefit, and not have to pay for it. It's kind of like your house. Very few people that I know where they would pay cash for their house when they move into it. And your utilities the same way. Very few people can afford to pay cash for their utility when you do a repair or improvement. So you borrow money. And the nice thing about that is that the useful life of the equipment you're buying with that loan, it's usually 50 to 60-year useful life. And you're paying a loan over 20 or 30 years. So you're really kind of approximating the kind of pay-as-you-go basis as people that are using that asset are paying for it. Whereas if you pay for it up front and have no debt at all, then the people that are using those assets are not people. And then you get these step function rates that keep going on. People can't plan about the future. What we used to try to do in rate studies is have rates that gradually go up and don't go up and down and the big cycles. So you can plan what's going to be for next year. Okay, I've got 5% increase this year. Maybe a whole 5% increase. But it's not like, okay, we've got a $1.2 million bond issue. We're going to pay for it this year. We're going to bump rates up to $300 a month per year, and then
Right. But I'm looking here thinking, okay, in 10 years, right now, with the 284 we're playing, plus another 100, that's 384,000 in 10 years we're currently collecting. Right now, we're $20 per customer per month, and we're going up about 26 now with this new 900, whatever it's 1,000. So I'm sitting here thinking, 10 years, we'd have that 384,000 that we're going to be paying in debt. We could accumulate that, we didn't need it, we could use it to match money. Grants, I don't know, it just seemed to be a good goal.
it is good looking important. It's just That's for one. I got your own money.
Very good.
That was my older my brother.
He's happier than he's been in a long time.
I started young, I've been doing this a long time. That's my story. I go right back to page 24. 24.
No questions, Mark.
I think you get the gist.
Yeah, 24, that's your budget. I'm showing break-even rates, 3-year rates, 5-year rates, 7-year rates. I'm showing break-even rates on water are about 2%, 3-year rates are about 6.5%, 5-year rates are about 9.56%, and 7-year rates are 12%. So you're in better shape in your water utility than you are with a big and we're going in the extensive replacement, short-term asset replacement, $128,873. Back to page 26, I've got a 26 person. I want to show you what the short-term asset replacement is, and the same type of equipment list, but in this case, we've got $770,000 in short-term assets we need to fund over the next 15 or 20 years. That's $128,000 a year, or about $10,739 per month. So again, build in your rates budget, you replace things as they break, or else when things break, Brittany's got to draw the line there and say we've got no money to replace this because there's no money to replace it. We go to page 28. So everybody wants to know. We look at 4,000 gallons. Current rates is $29.47. Break-even rates goes up to $30.05. 3-year rates 31, 5-year rates 32, 7-year rates 33. Not a lot of difference between 3-year rates and 5-year rates. And I'm going to tell you again that at 31 and 32, you're under what's typical. Yeah, because it's $40
you're still doing all water related projects, you're just suspending everything else, so stormwater still.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, planning grants, nope. Nope. Did I go, were they gonna do planning grants again?
Not that I've heard.
That's a shame. We're gonna go to page 18. As I explained, Jeff was asking earlier how we do a rate set. You look at the previous year, you look at what you spent the previous year, find out what your budget is. And this is pretty much what you spent in the previous year. You've got a very small amount of operation and maintenance. You've got a little bit of working capital. I've got a short-term asset replacement, extension replacements. You've got debt service on strong points, that's $2,000 a year. Building up debt service reserve, but as we come down here, I'm showing even on 5-year rates, we're pretty much breaking. You don't need an increase in stormwater. However, if you've got a lot of stormwater work, I recommend that you just shoot me some emails, whether it's from this study or interested in everything about doing this, how's it going to affect rates, what could we do without a rate increase, those types of questions, and I'd like to get the answers to that. So anyways, I'd like to come in and be able to say we don't need a rate increase. Page 22 shows you that ERUs is what you basically do is residential. Runoff units, total runoff units. It's what you base your rates on. It's kind of like you need and then 4 ERUs should be 2022. One would be typical for residential. So people are paying, residential people are paying about $7.23, which is pretty much typical. I think for Cobra, they require 3 to 5, is that right? To be able to qualify for early grant, you have to have 3 to 5 going. I think you lose points at 3, 5, is that sound about right? And so you're where you need to be. So if you go in for extra money, certainly you're going to go also the first 700,000, 6 or 700,000 dollars.
That's less for stormwater, less for snowbird, yeah.
And then we look at, since you qualify for grant money from the state revolving loan fund, state revolving loan fund, and be able to provide 20-year financing at 2% interest rate.
Yeah, we have some spots flooded down, some neighborhoods, commercial, plus neighborhoods. Sometimes both the stormwater and the wastewater, we still have contributions made to South Market Fund. However, I was looking at our fund report, Brandy, and we have about 220,000, 203,000 left in the Howard Market Fund, local.
Is that wastewater?
Well, no, we created funds to separate the money when we did those projects as per the requirements of the project. But we have some money left in that, and I'm just wondering, we've closed out Howard project, haven't we?
It's not been closed out yet.
But I mean, for all practical purposes, we're done.
Barring any unforeseen last minute invoices from structure, which.
Yeah. Well, still, so right now, I think it's safe to assume we have about 203,000 in there that, I'm wondering, can we take that and apply it to South Park? I don't know. And if so, that would reduce the burden. Because right now, that last year, this year, both wastewater and stormwater need to fund 700,000 each of those 2 years, and each to South Park. So that's 300,000. Well, hey, there's 200 sitting here. That would reduce it down to this 50 for each of those utilities. I don't. It's just an interesting thing to look at.
Where did the money come from? Where did the money come from, the South Market?
Well, the money in the market project came from multiple utilities, all 4 utilities contributed. Plus, we used food and beverage, we used multiple sources. We just had to show that
Any tax funds?
there were some tax.
I mean, no.
Well, I have to go back and look at the schedule, I'm just thinking.
Yeah, because
The
you
ball
got different
came-
rules for tax funds.
Right.
You do.
When it came from tax, I'd have to go back to tax.
Yeah, you gotta get permission to spend, or you don't have to get permission from anybody else
Right,
to spend.
utility.
Money, utility.
The That's just up to the board's information, you know, we need to fund that, we know we got some money here, we know we need a little bit, that means we just need a little bit more for the two utilities.
Nice.
To be where we need to be on that project.
I don't remember this, but I asked me to look at electric. We have usually electric utilities are cash cows, and a lot of money, we have a lot of money in the.
Well, historically it's done well.
Okay.
It could be because maybe we're not replacing assets. I don't know. We have a lot of pole replacement projects we need to get going.
What I want to mention is that sometimes when you're funding a project that's not a lot of money, I always recommend the cheapest source of money you're going to find is money you already have, borrowing from another fund. Now, Randy can tell you that if you borrow money from one fund, you got to pay it back in the same fiscal period, which means you borrowed in January, you got to pay it back in December. You borrowed in November, you got to pay it back in December. However, you can, as your attorney will tell you, you can set up a cash reserve fund, and any fund that has surplus cash. I have no idea what that means. There's a statutory definition of it. Who has surplus cash? But people do this. They fund that cash reserve fund, and that cash reserve fund can make loans to other funds that put a net worth of 60 months. 60 months.
65 years.
60 months. 60 months.
We have cash reserve, don't we, somewhere?
5 years. I don't know.
We have a light cash reserve of 440,000 in it. It's been on the books forever.
Okay. So you could lend money out to another fund.
At 5 years.
At 5 years to pay it back. And depending on the size of the project, that might be something you might want to look at. That's the cheapest way to get money. Other than free money, it's nice to pay back.
That's good information. Oh, darn.
I can talk a lot longer.
Does anybody besides Park have questions?
Covers it all.
And again, I recommend that you talk about this, kind of get to the board a little bit, give me a call if you have questions, if I come back to something. And what I generally do for the attorneys is we decide how much of an increase that you want. I'll draft the Word document, I'll draft the rate ordinance, public notice, and your attorney can make a legal. It just makes it easier all around. And as your attorney will tell you again, to adopt rates and charges, it takes
course, they have the vehicle weight on it.
It's on their plates.
But that rating,
Well, yeah, it has,
they can sell it about that way.
Does that
Much
give
as
you
they can, and then
you
go.
said cargo, yeah.
Was that
Yeah.
I just had on there that I
Well,
can have a carve out that
that
says
way.
specifically like trash trucks and school buses or.
That way, it's like a vehicle.
The only other things that I know would be down to there would be the delivery trucks to the two
Right.
schools.
Delivery trucks, like for cafeteria or things like that.
Couldn't we ask that they come in off of the highways and not on Howard?
Well, they're typically, those are short food trucks, they're the short bid. Now, plus they have some heavy equipment moved in, maybe air conditioning or something like that, but that's probably the only other things that we should have in there. We're probably gonna have, I see quite often in there, sometimes we actually, is the big 53-foot trailer comes into, to go to business on Northside Square. They come down, they do a big turn and come down north, they go up, I got their good, these guys, I'm glad they're not Dollar General. These guys, I mean, they do not hit the curves. They do a wonderful job. They are big trucks, big, yeah. So they do that.
So the desire would be for them to take the highway instead of cutting through the house.
Well, the other way would be to have to go down to York and go back out on, Virginia. That's what they're gonna have to do. Stay off of Howard or Market there. Bottom line, I think the goal is to make people aware, the people that drive the big trucks, hey, we're not supposed to be here. And if you have it up, you see somebody, obviously an offender, you might wanna stop and say, hey, you shouldn't be here.
What are we gonna, I mean, are we putting a,
15,000 limit.
yeah, but I mean, or is that gonna be stated on a sign, or you just put up a no truck route?
Well, I'd recommend that you put signs up that have the weight restriction
15
on it.
ton.
That way,
15
Randy
ton.
and the officers can enforce it because they've been given notice. 15-ton weight restriction or something along those lines.
How do you change?
And you should have it interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's,
Well, then you run into the trash trucks, school buses, and the delivery trucks for the school. So
We can send that as a notice to the companies. Won't be
So there's 2 appraisals that were ordered. We have emailed them asking them, have you appraised anything out there? And as of Friday, I haven't heard anything back from our email. I didn't ask today.
I was just curious, redevelopment is on the 23rd,
Okay.
and they're getting antsy because it's a project that they've
Sure.
already set aside funds for. We told Scott that's gonna happen.
I understand, but I've ordered the 2 appraisals from 2 people that we usually, that's
Brand-
the reputation for
Yes.
appraisals.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard
Okay,
anything back.
I have claims for 379, 328,
That's
98.
not saying
And that second total's changed a little bit. There's one more small invoice added, so it's 213, 349, 35. If anybody has any questions on,
Which claim do y'all Brandy?
you should have end of the month of May, and then you should have a June 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I was just curious.
Okay, month of May,
That's in front of me.
June 8th, yeah.
Yes.
Which one was it? Had the full stuff on it. The full stuff's on the May one, right? That's the last page. I just, where's that coming from? We have a separate fund for that?
The pool, what are you talking about for the pool?
Well, we had Sinclair Recreation for $4,199.
Yeah, that's playground.
Game time for $71.91.
Okay, it's parked from the Forever Fund, so
Okay.
it's not pool, but,
Is that a separate line item on the fund report, or where's that at?
no, but,
Is that a reimbursable type deal? I'm trying to remember what we did.
it's just gonna be the Forever Fund money that came from them that I put in, on the revenue side. We transferred to the park to pay those invoices. That was
Okay, so
about
we haven't
15
seen it on the appropriation report yet.
Probably about $15,000, I think, was what we got from the Forever
Okay.
Fund.
So that,
That's what you're asking, it's not, yeah, it's not pool.
yeah, well, the pool doesn't have that money, but on the appropriation report, is that?
You're gonna see it on your revenue side as far, under the Park Forever Fund, 15,159. That money will be moved to the park appropriation so that will cover the playground expense.
Is that gonna be under board approval probably, or is it gonna be, no, there's playground equipment.
Well, you're already approved purchasing of that equipment previous meeting, so.
Okay, so we have the park playground equipment's got a negative balance, but that money that we're receiving from Forever Fund to offset that?
Yes.
Okay, I'm with you. Anyway,
Absolutely.
that's the only question I had on the two appropriations.
Motion
I moved to approve the June 8th and May, May appropriation.
to council general.
Payable, I'm sorry.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
I went ahead and included, I don't think it says on your, schedule, but sent the May 11 meeting minutes. If you
Yeah.
have any questions on those, I'll go ahead and get those approved and signed today.
Motion.
I'll move to approve the May 11th
about this, or do you want me to as far as the salary?
It doesn't matter, I just put it on there, just there's two different ones, so, I mean, I think you guys just need to, you want me to wait till you all are finished signing, or?
Possibly. Can I sign and listen at the same time?
Sure.
That'd be great. Okay, so I don't have a whole lot of information, except for on our salary ordinance, we had 2 positions for concession stand workers. Being with the changes of things and possibly, not a concession, I think that the park board would like to ask that we use those funds to help with COVID, it listed as COVID-19 procedures, the cleaning, sanitizing, tracking, tracking the numbers of, people coming in, people leaving, to compensate.
So it is official, we are opening the pool.
We are gonna open, yes.
As per park board.
Well, like I said, I think the control panel was supposed to go in today. Water was supposed to be,
Graves was there as I was coming up, and they were there this morning as well, and I know that I would say the pool was maybe close to a third in.
today.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, providing water's in, Graves gets that taken care of, and the only other thing would be water to temperature.
Did you see on the news where
Or-
Terre Haute had they're supposed to wear a mask? I was confused.
When they're not in the water.
Just to get in.
Or at all times when they're not in the water.
All
Can't
time,
be
not
water.
Or that sun, the tan line.
Can't even imagine. That's what it said though.
Yeah, I know.
So if you guys want to have, any further, we're not changing the salary ordinance as
Total's
far
the
as
same,
the
it's
dollar
just
amount, it's
how
just the
it's being
titling of, basically amending the title.
Well, when you expense that though, you can't expense non-payroll stuff to payroll.
It's a
payroll item.
It's there, it's in,
just
yeah.
listed as concession.
I just want to change the name of it.
Okay.
Yeah, concession's still in pool and everything else.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we are able to do that, that way we can get to the look and have the right amount of people and it's safely.
I'll second
Does, does anyone have a suggestion on what they would like for that to be titled? Other than my COVID procedures. Is there a problem with that, or?
COVID safety
that. COVID
workers.
compliance
Okay,
expense.
okay.
How about a pool slush fund?
Yeah, there you go. All monitors.
And the other one, I don't know. I know, Jim had sent an email as far as the fire department goes.
Neighbors have been trying to do that, and he's trying to work it out with the other neighbor that if you'll take your rider over it, I'll do the weed eating and push moving, so that may work out too. That's a burden that
So is it in a state right now then, or what?
we're not sure. They did just send me contact information on Facebook for 2 sons that live in Colorado, and that's all I have.
What was the address on it?
That's 506 West Pennsylvania. That one's on it. The other one is 962 East Ohio, West Ohio. And that's 2 houses down from CVS. It's been vacant forever. It's been written up forever. The town had been mowing it, and did we stop doing
We
that?
stopped doing that because generally our position is that it's not the town's obligation.
I have a little bit of information on that. The person who owns it is in a long-term care facility in Florida. Has somebody, has 2 relatives, I don't remember if they're sons or nephews. One is very interested in selling the property, however, does not
So my preference would be, and it's up to the board obviously, but would be that we not maintain the properties, that we just cite them for a nuisance violation.
In an example of one case that he's had in court already, got a $2,500 fine, and it took a couple of months, but we got all the problems rectified, and it's cleared up now. So it's being addressed regularly, and we don't have to address it every year with a,
I didn't think that would see that one property.
that's.
But it's been
but
a
it is.
success, it's
It
one of
is.
our successes, is
Yeah.
that it's maintained, there's no high shrubs, and grass is being cut, the roof's been solved, and it is a property. How many complaints you think you got on that property?
Every year.
He got one from
every
me
year.
about every month.
I didn't think anybody did.
Every time you walk by it, but
So it has been successful doing it through the nuisance in the courts and things like that. Whereas if we're maintaining the property, we're just using our manpower. And Jeff and his guys have plenty to do around town.
I know there was one property on High Street, East High Street. Go down the hill, up the hill, it was on the right. And it had grass just all the neighbor complained. And I'm pretty sure we knocked that down.
But
But I think that the thing that was that town's property or?
no, it's nine.
It was no
nine,
broad house
10,
or something.
yes. And that one is one of them that's been written up and sent over. And I sent notice to the previous owner's address out on 100 North. I was contacted by an Amish fellow who lives there now, says he hasn't lived here for a while. So I don't know where the contact him at.
if you
Dale property.
if you can email me anything, maybe I can use some resources that way. But if we correct the property, then when I'm going in front of the judge, I can't show the judge how many days it's been in violation.
Right.
And that's what the judge bases his fines on, is based on the number of violations of the days. Like, some of these we've written up this year have been written up in the past, but now when we go to court and we show the judge, we can say, Judge, they've had years to fix these properties,
Right.
or months, or however long it is. And if we're solving the problem for them, then we're making it so I can't do anything when we go to court.
So leave them alone.
Leave them alone would be my preference, if that's okay with the board.
Sounds like a good strategy. The neighbors can address it until.
If the neighbors complain, then we become knowledgeable about it, but we're not driving around town looking for properties necessarily. I mean, we stumble
Right.
upon them, obviously, but it's not, we're not looking to find people, I guess is what I would say.
And we had 3 on South Martin and 2 on South College that were back to back last year. And I think we've gotten all of those cleared up. We got their attention finally, but we had to write them up every year.
$2,500 fine to get somebody's attention fairly
Yeah.
quick. But that's not the goal. The goal is, everybody keep your yard in decent shape. We're not citing people that maybe miss one mow, it's more so
Right.
have a vote all summer.
And this one out here has been cited several times, but he's got it, it's been addressed.
Yeah, so we'll proceed, and part of the problem's been that the court's been closed with this COVID thing, but now they're back open, so a lot of our things have been reset for a year now, so.
And the 910, 916 West Ohio, it's been vacant a long time. There's a vehicle out back of it. It may run, I don't know, but it was last plated in 2013. But the driveway's so overgrown, I don't think anybody can get in there to get it.
Well, and what can happen is if we have service and then they still don't do it, it can be entered as a judgment, and you have every right as a judgment creditor, which part of that is to put a lien on the property or things of that nature.
And I haven't put that with the towns or my copies, but I did include to Nick the previous complaints that we've had at that property. There was a break in there last year, and there's still some stuff inside. Can't secure the house. There's property there. Somebody should be coming and taking care of that property. Next item, we got 2 cars, 2013 and 16 Ford Explorers that have air conditioning problems. Rick Flannery's garage is addressing the issues. One of them's on the K9 vehicle, and he's worked on it once before. So. The police commission did have an executive meeting, then a public meeting that followed. We didn't public showed up last Wednesday night. There were no decisions made anyway, so there was nothing. Just updated on use of force reports and reviewed those and incidents that have taken place. We have a new camera system for the town hall, the park, and the depot. They have come in. I'm working with the utility department because we're having to install some new electrical outlets at the park, at the pool area, and maybe in the pavilion for the cameras to, they just have to have electricity. And I don't know what we're gonna run into down at the depot, but we're trying to put some on the outside of the depot towards the bathroom, so we have who's coming and going out of the bathrooms. And the one down at the town building and police department, we made it to do some work on. He's one, I can't find that it's recording. And it was supposed to have been set up. Of course, the guy that set it up for us has moved to Florida and working down there now, so. Something I'd like for the police department to do, and I'd like us to be able to get 4 additional AED units. We have 2, but there are 2 cars. We have 5 cars, and nobody runs around and gets an AED off of the other vehicle at the end of shift or anything. So I would like to have an additional 4, 1 for the police department and 1 in each of the vehicles that way.
What do they cost, Rick?
Well, I found some refurbished ones that are about half the cost. That was, I think it's like $1,500.
For all of them or each?
But the other thing with those, when we get those, we order ones that are compatible with the ambulance services. So if I show up at your house and use pads on you, the ambulance service will replace them, and they charge it to the patient, the same ones that they use anyway. So
Everybody have training on those?
every year we have to have CPR training. Same with all the rest of our training.
I guess
There's
my,
a separate training for AEDs.
Yeah, well, we get CPR, when we get our CPR, CPR is adult, infant, child.
so my concern would be like if you guys show that one of you doesn't have those on your vehicle, you know, maybe that could cost somebody a lot.
Well, I did show up at one at North End, well, across the street from your house, that a couple of years ago, I did CPR on a guy, we brought it back, so. And I'll tell you, in the last 40 years in Park County, I've done CPR hundreds of times, and it's not always effective. That's the problem you have with an elderly community. But the unexpected ones, you can add like 3 saves. So that's good. That's what you keep doing it for. But the accidents, those kind of things are going to help.
Randy, I'll look into some grant money that might be available.
Okay.
Maybe I can't cover all of it, but help
Because there are
with
some,
that.
that's how the courthouse, how the nurse got ours, she had a
So,
Well, Union Hospital used to have the Luger Center, had grants for that, and they don't have them now. But because I have checked into it, and I thought about firehouse sub grants, but the closest firehouse sub is Acorn or Plainfield. So,
I think the one in Avon's owned by Park County residents.
oh, that would be nice. And I don't know, I just wanted to address the protester issue. We did have a report, and that came originally from the state police that last Tuesday night we were going to have protesters here, that they had gone to Sullivan County and Clay County, and they were planning on coming to Park County last Tuesday night. We had extra officers out just in case. We had people on standby. Nothing happened. We were told by some people that they drove out and seen that we had all the officers up here, and they just drove out. Who knows? I don't know why they would want to come here. Part of the thing is I guess when they went to Sullivan, they had a large group of citizens that told them, you deal, but, if I was, yeah, we're gonna put that,
Yeah, I had one up on Erie too.
okay. The guys, when does Erie Street project start? I know it's still done, okay. Because the guys mentioned something to me about having a car down there. And I said we could probably do that. I mean, Bill's days off, he can park his car out there by the street where people, see it and slow down.
That was the one thing that Roger asked in our kickoff meeting today, was to coordinate with you on some of the safety issues regarding traffic control.
Okay.
Now, traffic control is going to be on Dash Hill and Graves. I told him that we might be able to offer assistance, and especially in places where we do highly traffic areas that might.
Sounds good. Well, I think that's one thing I had to do. Unless you guys have something I haven't thought of.
A couple things. Whatever became the right-of-way issue down in Rockville?
The right away on
Michigan Street,
They're gonna file a petition for variance.
Okay. There's something else I can't remember.
the status on that, we just fill you in. On South Market, getting closer. I think the information that they got from Greg Norman is going to resolve a lot of retention pond issues. They're not going to necessarily need that. They're waiting on me to get some information on storm drains capacity on South Michigan. And they feel like the right-of-way on South Market will probably be able to work out.
Good.
We are waiting approximately another 2 weeks until we get a final site layout for a New Hope. And once we get that in place, we'll probably try to do a walkthrough with them and structure point. So that way we can lay out and actually get eyeballs on half the things we go to get. I'm still not convinced that we're not going to have to pony up some money for sewer. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
When do y'all want to get together and talk about what Brock's sharing tonight, just budget stuff? The rate thing is kind of. I mean, it's kind of.
Well, the rate thing's not something that can happen overnight either, because we have to, like you was talking about, the notice requirements.
We have to come to agreement, and then we have to go through the legal system process to do it.
So you need to give me some time if that's gonna be.
Sorry. Probably should get it done sooner than later.
That and I'll be gone sometime.
Y'all received my,
I just said that. Yeah, email. Yeah. I've got the car, I really got insurance on the email. I don't have that. That's what the email. Anyway, well, I'm gonna be kayaking down in southern Indiana in a couple of weeks. It's either last week or next week. So better.
just to fill out the paperwork that had the CARES Act to make sure it's all done correctly.
Because they're saying the finance authority will probably be looking.
Cindy's probably more than capable of
That's
doing
kind
it,
of
would be
like-
my opinion, and probably less cost prohibitive, but
Like
that's up to you.
several-
I won't take offense if you want to have outside counsel take a look at it. It's not something I like with us, really.
Put a step over the bread club is basically.
There's no, I mean, there's a timeline set on that, like, we're just keeping a folder right now, and I thought,
Like I said, I think we've got till the end of the year.
okay,
What a lot of places are gonna do is what they have already. At some point in the near future, they'll submit that.
okay.
And there are some forms you have